Hello and welcome back to another episode of Project Supercar, the channel where I've built my own DIY supercar using an old Audi estate like this one as a donor car. And on this episode we're going to continue with the strip down of this Audi A6 twin turbo donor car. Now on the last episode I was contemplating on the best way to remove this engine and gearbox. I was thinking about sort of drawing it out this way or maybe sort of lifting it up somehow using my crane, but I think the best way to do it is to leave the engine and gearbox in place for now and then chop up the body shell and then lift off the body shell, the remaining part of the body shell that's around the engine, and just lift it off. So this probably isn't the perfect how to do video if you're thinking about removing your own 2.7T V6 engine from an Audi A6, because chopping up your body shell probably isn't the best way to go for you. But as I'm not actually keeping this body shell and I'm chopping it up and I need a few bits and pieces from it, it doesn't matter. So the plan of attack is this: I'll chop out these parts here, remove the roof, and then cut down this part of the car and remove the rear section. Then this remaining part here I could wheel into the garage, lower the gearbox and the engine onto the ground or on axle stands or something like that, and then lift off this part of the body shell. Well, that's the plan anyway. So I think I'll start by removing the front anti-roll bar here and then loosening off all the nuts and bolts underneath the engine and subframe, ready for when it's in the garage. We have a 16mm nut here and the bolt on the other end, which attaches the drop down link, which is this thing here, to the anti-roll bar, which runs along here underneath the engine and of course to the other side. So we'll just remove that now. I think the next thing I'll do is remove these brackets here. These are for the intercoolers. I'm not entirely sure I can use them on the turbo build, but I think I'll keep them for reference, and I don't want to chuck them away or scrap them. So I'm going to drill out the rivets, and I'll do that on both sides. Now, because I'm going to be cutting this chassis in half, the body shell, I want to make sure that the fuel lines that run from the front of the car all the way to the back of the car where the fuel tank is out of the way, because I don't fancy cutting through these lines with an angle grinder or something like that and going up in flames. So what we need to do is there is a shield in here, which I'll just turn the camera like so. So we've got a shield here. I'll undo the, I think it's 3 bolts or nuts, 3 nuts, and it looks like these are M8. I'll just see if I can bring the camera in a little bit better. Get a bit of zoom in there. Right. So this shield here, this is M8, M8, and there's one at the bottom. I'll remove those and then we can start taking these fuel lines out of the body shell. There's a series of these clips. It's a metal clip with a rubber sort of insert clamp, and they hold the fuel lines to the underside of the car. So I'm just going to undo all those now. All the clamps are now undone. So all I have to do is remove the hard fuel lines from the hoses. So I'll just undo these clamps here. With the fuel lines out the way, it's just the brake lines next. I'll just remove these brake lines that run from the front of the car all the way to the back of the car. I think I'll just remove these hinges and on the rear door as well. Get them out the way so I'm not snagging myself on them. These hinges have a bolt on the outside of the car and one on the inside. So you just pass the socket through this hole here and you should be able to get to the inside bolt. So that's the underside of the car prepped. I've removed the brake lines and the fuel lines and everything else is out the way. So this is now ready to be chopped up. Apart from the side glass, the rear glass, the rear quarters and the windscreen needs to be removed. Now I've ordered some bits and pieces for that and the problem is they haven't turned up yet. So I can't remove the glass at the moment. So I'm going to wait for those tools to turn up, and then when they turn up I will remove the glass and then we can prep this car for the angle grinder. And in the meantime I think I'm going to have to tidy all this lot up. So it's been some time since I actually filmed those scenes. In fact, it's almost been a month. It took about a week for this to turn up. So these are the tools I will need to remove the side glass and the windscreen so I can actually then cut the roof off. Now, although these actually turned up within a week of filming, it then started to rain. And boy, did it rain. I've been waiting ever since for a break in the weather so that I could carry on with the strip down of this donor car. Now the weather looks sort of dodgy. I don't think it's going to rain, but we do have some grey skies, so fingers crossed I can get this done before it starts tipping it down again. Now the plan was to remove the side glass and the windscreen with the car still outside and on the ramps here. I just thought it'd be a little bit easier to work on and then to get the camera in, although I would still have to push the car forward a little bit to get to that side glass. But I'm going to change my plans a little bit. I just can't trust the weather anymore. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Where's all this global warming I keep getting told about? I'm paying me tax, so can we have a little bit of global warming, please? You know, just over the Midlands, it'd be great. Anyway, so here's the plan. I'm going to have to lower the car down, get it off the ramps. I'm going to have to drain the water out of it, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I'm going to get it into the garage. And then I think what I'll do is I'll try and get the car over to one side with my skates and then attempt to remove the side glass one at a time. I know it's a bit of a pain, but I just can't trust the weather anymore. So, oh yeah, I'll just show you the flood, shall we? So let's take a look at this flood. Oh yes, lovely choppy, look at this. Okay, this is getting a little bit excessive now. So yeah, this is all filled up with water, and I think I'm going to have to drill a couple of holes to get all this out. But yeah, so the plan is I'm going to lower the car, or the rear part of the car, down, and then I'll drill some holes and we'll get the water out, and then I will lower the front part of the car down, and then we'll get it into the garage. Well, the ramps are out, and this isn't dodgy at all, is it? Okay, for those of you who are new to my channel, I would never normally jack up a car using this part of the car. This is like the tub that holds the spare wheel. Okay, don't do this, everybody. This is a donor car, it's being scrapped, and whatever you do, do not crawl underneath the car if you're going to do something dodgy like this. So I think what we'll do is we'll get the car down on the ground before it falls. Down. Now, how to get rid of this water. You might be able to tell or see there's like a plug there. There's a plastic plug here, and there's another one there, and there's another two on the other side. Now, Audi put these plugs in, so if your car ever does actually get flooded, you can actually remove them, and then the water drains out from underneath your car. So I think what I'll do is I'll just sort of get the old drill out, drill some holes, and we'll get all this water out. Got me drill. Right, all 4 holes are now drilled out, so just let all this water drain out. While I wait for the water to drain out, I'm going to have to move this and find a home for that, because I want to push the donor car up against this wall here. So I've got to clear this out. Yeah, I might have to move that seat and everything as well. Yeah. And I might as well remove this plastic sheeting. Okay, so the water has now drained out. It's left a bit of a mess, but never mind, this car is going to get chopped up. It is a donut car after all, but I could have done without this mess. I might have to clean it up so I'm not kneeling in it and all that sort of stuff. So, the water's out. Let's lower the front of the car. Okay, I've placed the ramps at the front of my garage, and I should be able to push this in by myself because this car is a lot lighter now. I've stripped everything from it. So here goes. Phone call on set? That's the problem with using your phone as a camera, and I'm running out of cameras. Take two. It's still heavy. It's still heavy. It's in. Oh. So the car is in the garage, and I've got a little bit of sort of space to work, and I think I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you. So we'll just take a quick look at the working area that I've got left. So there is a bit of a gap here, along here. Bit of a tight squeeze between the bench and the 2.7 twin turbo V6. and we've got a bit of a gap here. Now, although I think I could take this side glass out with this small amount of workspace, there's no way I'm going to get the cameras in to show you lot how I do it, or don't do it, because I might break this thing. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get the skates out, jack this car up again, and then push it against this wall here. Fun and games. Let's get the skates out. Bit of a tight squeeze. Well, that's the front done. Now the back. Right, let's get it over to the wall. It's up against the wall. Actually, I should have removed those two hinges. I could have got an extra couple of inches, but never mind. I think that should be enough space for me to pull out this side glass and get the cameras in. Of course, I'm going to have to do one side at a time. I'll pull out that one there, then I'll pull out this one once I've pushed the car all the way over to the other wall. And once I've done that, I'll center the the body shell, sorry, and I will pull out the windscreen. And then it's ready to cut the roof off. Done. Right, I think that'll do. I don't know how much I've actually filmed, so I'm going to have to put this together, and I'm pretty sure I've done way too much filming again. Anyway, I hope some of you guys out there like the detail I'm putting in and showing you everything. Anyway, the next episode I'm planning to do is I want to do one just on the glass removal. So it'll be that one and the windscreen. I want to try and get it all done in one episode if I can. So I think I'm going to call that an episode, and I'm going to have to tidy up everything away, clean up all that grease that I've just found all over my driveway that came from the differential. Great. And I think that'll do. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.